Welcome, I'm Nick Shaver working with TorchPrep here, jumping into question number 54 on test 3. So I'd like you to pause the video, reread question 54 before we dive into it. Alright, so I'm going to use the word problem strategy on this one, and we got to ask, what is this question asking us? And we see that it's trying to ask us, what are the components of W? And you can see all your answer choices have I'm going to call it an X component and then a Y component, all right? So let's dive into 2. What do we know? Well, we know our U components for our vector, V components for our vector, and then we know which equation we need to solve. Okay, so now let's jump into solving this. And the way to do that, we've got to break this up into, this is 2 components. We have an X component and a Y component. We have a Vx and a Vy component. And so when we break it up, you're really breaking this into 2 equations because we need 2 equations to solve for our 2 unknowns, right? 2 equations, 2 unknowns. So let's look at our first equation. Let's do our X components first. So X, all our X components. So 2 of our X component, which is times 5, plus -3 of our X component, so -3 times 2, -6, plus, well, we don't know what our X component is. That's what we're solving for. So that's one equation, and then we can solve this further. 10 minus 6 plus Wx equal to 0. 10 minus 6 is 4 plus Wx equals 0. And then we know that Wx has to be equal to -4 for that to make sense. Now, you could probably stop right now because I think, yeah, there is only one. Now you know that it's going to be G, but that's not what I would do. I would make sure I'm not making any mistakes. So I would actually solve the second equation just to double check I didn't make a mistake, because you could have easily missed the negative sign and then got to get the wrong answer. But if you're this far, you might as well just quickly go the second one. So let's use our Y component now. So again, 2U for our Y component, so 6, -3 times -7, positive 21, plus our W of our Y component is equal to 0. Simple, 27 Wy is equal to -27, and sure enough, that's what G gives us. We double checked our answer, we got it right, good work.